Hello, and welcome back to David Galata Book Dreamer. I'm David Galata, and I'm dreaming up some books. And right now, I wanted to talk just a bit about a topic that, for me, is an important one as an artist and an author. And that topic is following fashion. Oh, I know it's the safest course, and I know that is the way to make the most money. But is that really the most important thing that we can do is make money and take the safe course? I don't think so. There are a lot of complaints I have been hearing lately, especially lately, that too many programs in our entertainment, whether it's TV or even YouTube or, on, cable and, Hulu and Netflix and all that, so many things just seem to be the same. There are a lot of books out there right now where people are just taking the same themes over and over and trying to make a buck off of them. People find it annoying. Did you know that? If you're one of those who does this, people are getting annoyed by this. Not because it has anything to do with politics, and not because it has anything to do with who likes who doesn't like who, what your ideologies are. It's not that. It's that people are getting bored and they're wondering why so many authors, artists, and creators are following the same exact trends over and over and over again until you really can't tell one book from the other except the name of the author on the cover. That's a problem. The same is true for book covers. There is a tendency for book covers to follow a particular fashion over periods of time. This is also getting to be a tired thing. People are not really happy with this. And I hear this every event. Every event I go to, people are like, yeah, well, I'm really tired of the same old stuff. It's always the same kind of thing. It's always the same kinds of hero. It's always the same kinds of spaceship, if there even is a spaceship. I know especially in motion pictures, there seems to be a real lack of spaceships. Science fiction tends to be, for some reason, there was like years where it was just everything had to do with time travel, time travel, time travel, because a movie or show was deemed popular because it had that theme. Well, the reason it was popular is that it wasn't being overdone. Now it's being overdone. Uh, we are in an age where large companies are in charge of publication. And I'm not talking Amazon, okay? That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking Doubleday. I'm talking Simon and Schuster. I'm talking Penguin Books. Those are huge companies. They're not little tiny mom and pops. No, 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 no. They are not. They are huge corporations, and most of the people who are running those corporations really couldn't give a fig about books. They care about the bottom line and the demands of their investors, period. So they're going to act very cautiously. They're going to look at their marketers. They're going to be looking at what do the marketers want and what's popular right now, what's making money right now. And so they dictate fashion based on what's making money at the moment. This is not the way. When you're an author or an artist, I feel that it is a responsibility of the author, excuse me, of the author. That's how you know I don't edit my videos. And I don't. I like to give the feel of a live video, even though it's not live. I prefer that. I don't, there's no script here. I'm not looking down at some script. I have a little piece of paper that just has the topic at hand on it, and I cross it off when I've done it. That's it. So it's just me speaking from the heart. I feel is the responsibility of authors and artists to try to stretch the boundaries, to go to undiscovered regions and try to find new ways of expressing things and finding new messages to express. We are being creative, and being creative isn't copying another author or artist over and over and over again. That is not how that's done. Maybe that works great in the boardroom. Maybe that sounds really cool to the CEOs out there. It is not cool for humanity in general because people are getting bored of it. They're getting sick of it. And they kind of feel like no one's listening to them. They are the readers. They are the fans. Maybe this is a major problem. Maybe people are just afraid. This is why I don't like censorship. I don't care who's doing the censoring or what their reasons are. I don't like it. I don't like it mainly because it crushes creativity. So be careful about the things you support. If they support any form of censorship, you are helping someone crush creativity. And that means you're impacting artists, authors, movie writers, actors, musicians, and you're squashing them. Don't do that. Don't support that. Freedom of expression is important. And it's important for a lot of reasons. The human race has been advancing very, very quickly recently. Why? Because there is more freedom of expression. There's more freedom to exchange ideas. And so we end up developing greater and greater leaps and bounds in technology, in the arts, and in quality of life because we are freely expressing. And this is one of the many reasons I do not follow fashion. If I wanted to follow fashion, I'd be doing self-help books. Those are big. And oh, corporations love seeing those because they like anything that turns the reader into a victim who then is looking to some author to tell them how to run their lives. Oh, this makes the politicians literally drool with desire. And this is exactly what the big corporations want. I don't want that. I'm not going to assume you're a victim of anything. I want to show you just how powerful you are. And that's a different thing. I'm not on anybody's side because no one is on your side, let alone mine. Okay, just to paraphrase Treebeard from Tolkien there for a second there. Let's face it, I love Treebeard. It's a great character and had a lot of interesting things to say. But what I'm saying here is that following fashion has never sat well with me. I don't want to do what, Mark and Jenny are doing. I don't want to do that kind of thing. I want to do something that's original, something that's new, something maybe people haven't seen before. As an artist, I was part of what was called at the time the Pluralism movement, which was really interesting to all of us who were part of it because we weren't part of a movement. It was the critics who wanted it to be a movement. That's the truth. They wanted to say, oh, well, these people are trying to say something. And then they were trying to tell us what we were trying to say by turning it into a movement. They did not comprehend what we were doing. What they did was they collected a group of artists from various galleries, various areas, who were using the arts as a toolbox. We were using all the different styles of art, like Impressionism, Realism, Abstract Expressionism, all these isms. And we didn't want to just stick with one thing. We wanted to see these different schools of thought as tools in a toolbox. And you really don't want to build a house with just a hammer. You're not going to get far. You can't cut wood with a hammer. So you need other tools to build that house. So we decided in order to expand art beyond surrealism and deconstructionism and abstract and impressionism, that we had to use them as tools to build a new house. And the trick was, if you're going to do that, it would really be great if you could make it look like a single style. So that the different elements are not jarring. They're not like jumping out. Oh, well, this piece is like this, and this part of the painting is like that. That was not where we were coming from. We wanted to make it look like one cohesive thing. And this, the critics completely misunderstood and tried to turn it into a movement to fit their theories about art. And these are people who have rarely picked up a brush. I suspect that the critics of books are pretty much in the same class. They like writing articles and books about books, but they themselves are not creating new novels with new ideas. Should we listen to these people? I don't know if I should. I don't. I don't, because their path is the path of fashion. Let's turn this into a trend and we can all make money. Let's turn this into a movement and we'll jump on the gravy train and pat ourselves on the back that we found these brilliant people while we sit there and abuse their work and use it for our own purposes because, well, they're just starving artists, so who cares? And the same thing with authors. You know, most authors don't have money, don't make money. You know, most authors are extremely happy that they've sold, say, a dozen books, let alone 100 books, let alone being a bestseller and having sold thousands of books. This is the truth. The grand majority of writers, like the grand majority of artists and musicians, are not making money. However, the big publishing houses are. You know, the big record labels are, the big galleries are, on the backs of those who they crush with their opinions and say, you must follow fashion. I refuse to do so. It's why I'm an independent author. I love the, are you self-published? Well, that's kind of a lower class. I don't care. I'm an independent author. And that doesn't just mean that I'm self-published. I'm independent-minded. It's my ideas. And yes, of course, I have my influences. Everyone does. Everyone has their favorite books, their favorite artists, their favorite music. And that's going to influence the work. But that doesn't mean that you have to follow it to the letter. There is still wiggle room for new ideas. There is still novel ways of putting certain things together. Did I invent the generation ship? Of course not. Of course not. No, 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 no. You know, I would rather place that in the hands of Arthur Clarke or, you know, Heinlein. I did not. But I've decided to give my little twist by giving such a ship not a destination, but an eternal mission. A mission that was never meant to end. That's different. That's very different. This means that this ship has to keep its crew going and safe and keep the generations running in perpetuity. Whereas most others, the ship is going somewhere. And then those people their descendants will become colonists of some kind. I decided to turn that on its head. That's new. I don't think there is another book about a generation ship that's like that. There are ones about them being lost. There are ones about them where the crew has forgotten that they're in a large ship, but not ones who are aware that they're in a large ship and they are working for a single purpose that does not end. This is what I mean. People hear this and they go, wow, that's interesting. I've not heard that before. I want to read this book. Wow, that painting is interesting. I've never seen anything like it before. I want to keep looking at that. I want to buy that painting. Not following fashion leads to discoveries, and discoveries make the world greater for all of us. Whereas ignoring discovery in favor of fashion is only going to suppress all of us. So I don't follow fashion because I want to make discoveries and I want to help my readers and viewers make discoveries. And that's more important than me making a little coin. On the other hand, because I am breaking away from the pack, because I am different, I am selling books. I am. Maybe not at the rate that Simon and Schuster would say would make me a bestseller. That's fine. That's fine. They can go ahead in their blissful ignorance. But I am reaching readers, and they are enjoying these unusual tales and these odd books with a strange viewpoint that they haven't seen before. So think about what you're doing. Are you following fashion? Are you creating new fashions? Are you squelching discovery, or are you opening the doors to discovery for both yourself and for the people that you're trying to reach? Think about that. This is why I don't follow fashion. Well, I hope you have enjoyed this particular YouTube. I'm going to get back into some of the more bits about the backgrounds of my work next week. That's going to be a lot of fun. I know I've promised I will talk about the Sol System colonies from the time of launch for Ganges and also about the age of piracy. I also have a topic here about superheroes in books that are not superhero books. Well, so we'll be taking a look at those three topics over the next few weeks. In the meantime, I wish you all well. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe. It does really help. I just want to build up my subscriber base a bit. And but in the meantime, hey, I'm very happy to chat with you. And happy reading, everyone. You take care.